All right, Patrick. No offense to Valspar and Houston and any of these events. Focus in my life right now is on Augusta National. We're weeks away, which is very, very exciting for every golf fan and sports fan. I wanted to get into some power rankings, and I wanted to kind of do it every week until we get to the Masters. You go with that?
Love it. Love power ranking anything, let alone the
Anything.
Masters.
You know what? You know what we should do maybe next week is we'll power rank the Masters and something random.
Yes.
Like best soft drink or something like that. All right. I want you to start. We're gonna go 5-1. I'm gonna let you start with number 5 on your list.
All right, number 5, I have a PGA Tour winner already this season.
Uh-oh, you might have the same guy.
A former Masters champion.
Oh, no, we don't have the same guy.
As well. And an Olympic medalist. I'm rolling with Hideki Matsuyama as my number 5 guy. I know the form hasn't been as great since the century, but Shane, I love guys in majors who have an elite skill set. And Hideki Matsuyama, for my money, is number 1 in the world around the green. The chipping, the pitching, everything definitely comes in handy there at Augusta National. So the driver looks to be coming along nicely after a little spell there on the West Coast, but Hideki's number 5 for me. What about you?
Hideki, not on my list, but I like it. And I think a little bit of it is just recent form. He hadn't played great as of late. But again, I'm kind of with you. I feel like Augusta is one of those places when you get it, you get it. And if you don't get it, you don't get it right. Hideki obviously gets it and has played extremely well there throughout his career. My number 5 is a guy that I wrote on Twitter, X, whatever we call it, a few weeks ago, is going to win a major in 2025. Number 5, Russell Henley is my number 5 on my Masters power ranking. Now, this is a guy that, I mean, he doesn't have a great record in the majors up until the last couple of years. Not a single top 10 in major championships until the Masters in 2023. Since then, T4 at the Masters a couple of years ago, T7 last year at the U.S. Open, 5th at the Open Championship. He's only missed 1 cut in his last 6 starts in majors. I just feel like trending in that direction. And I like kind of riding, as we said earlier about, Scottie over the last few years at the Masters and John Rahm. I like riding kind of the hot hands that are playing well early in the season. So Henley in my top 5. I don't know what you think about that.
I love that. It was actually a full year since I made the proclamation that Russell Henley was a top 10 player in the world. I got laughed at, scoffed at. People who I thought were friends, best friends, they wouldn't even look at me on the streets anymore.
It's terrible. I know it.
They walk across the street.
When your takes are so good that they get offended, it's really where you want to live in this space. All right, I'm going to lead into my number 4. I'm just going to throw this out there. A little all over the place. I just feel like this guy is due to win at Augusta at some point in his career. He's trending, I think. Justin Thomas at number 4.
Wow.
I just feel like we're close with him in his golf game. And that might be silly considering what he shoots, 78 the first round and then 62. It's like all over the place on the player's map. But I like a little bit of what I've seen from JT this season. And I feel like, again, kind of talking about Hideki and the short game, I feel like JT is one of the best in the world around the greens. And I'm just kind of waiting for the year that he's really in the hunt at the Masters.
I am going to say your number 4 pick is more bold than your number 5 pick.
I think that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I'm going with another major champion as well. Another Masters champion, that is. And someone not on the PGA Tour.
I know where you're going.
Haven't really heard a lot about him. He's not the number 1 player in the world, like we've alluded to, unfortunately. But I do believe he's the best player on Live Golf still, and that's John Rahm. I think he's coming into 2025, Shane, a little pissed off.
Yep.
He's not being talked about. He had a brutal major championship season last year. I know he finished top 10 in the Open, but wasn't even in the mix at all at the Masters, had to withdraw from the U.S. Open, missed the cut at Valhalla. Like, that's not John Rahm that we know. And so the form on Live Golf is, I think, tough to decipher just because his floor is so high. He's going to finish inside the top 10 every single week. I know they love to tout that. But
has he finished in the top 10 like every Live event he's played?
Every single one.
I mean, that is, I know the talent is obviously watered down after about the top 6 guys, 7 guys. That is still a pretty wild stat, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely is. And the latest one they tweeted out was rounds of, I think it was like 21 rounds of under par golf in a row. And they're just taking out the miscut in Dubai to begin the year, right? On Live Golf, 21 in a row. But
next to that one, yep.
But give me Rahm, right? He doesn't have to deal with the extracurriculars like he did last year with the live noise, with the champions dinner, being the defending champion and all that. So I think he gets back on the major championship train this year and at least puts together a number of good efforts. And I think it starts at Augusta.
Not on my list. I'm kicking myself. I think that's somebody that deserves to be in the top 5. So I'm gonna say so far you're winning this power rankings. I'll let you roll into number 3 as well, since you're coming off such a hot pick. And obviously, this is probably where you're gonna go, Joaquin Niemann. I'm assuming that's where you're at number 3.
Naturally, I mean, if you don't put the world number 1, actually, we're gonna wait for Joaquin Niemann. Now that
hey Patrick, real quick, is there a decent chance? I'd say there's a 80% chance these 3 are the same in both of our lists, but I'll let you go.
I would say they're the same, but I think they're going to be in a different order.
Probably right.
Okay. I am going with another 2-time major champion, a guy who contended at the Masters last year.
Yep.
And was in the mix until the back 9, really. And that is Colin Morikawa.
Yep. He's number 3 on mine as well.
There's just some guys, you said it about Augusta National. You either get it or you don't. And I would say the same is true about major championship golf. And we've seen Colin Morikawa roll into major championships without form and contend, right? 36-hole leader at Brookline. Last year at Augusta, no one was talking about him. Even at Valhalla, too, in that final group again. And I'm not buying into he has poo-poo pants and he can't close and all this stuff. He's an unbelievable player. He's been unbelievable at Augusta National. So I'm putting him 3rd.
3 on my list as well. It'll be interesting to where we fall with 1 and 2. I've got Rory too. I just do. I don't have Rory 1. I just can't put him atop the number 1 player in the world, the real number 1 player in the world. And Rory's number 2 on my list. I mean, he's playing great form. We talked about him for 25 minutes. The record at Augusta is the record at Augusta. And until he does it, I can't have him above people that have done it, especially people that have done it multiple times. So Rory's 2 for me.
He is 2 for me as well.
See, I knew we were gonna do this. Yeah.
Look at us.
I mean, you can't bump Scottie, right? We just can't do it. I don't care if he's not playing the way
Scottie's
he's been playing.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Who's your number 1?
Niemann. Come on.
Oh yeah. Niemann's major record is very polished, very impressive in the major championships. Loves to hit that booming high ball. Like, this is no knock on Joaquin Niemann. He's been playing great golf, but when you say he's the number 1 player in the world, people like us laugh at it because it's not true and it's silly and it's when somebody replied, I think somebody on Twitter was like, him and Scottie played in 12 events together over the last whatever many years. It's like he's never beat him, I think, a head-to-head in a round, or he's beat him once. I mean, Scottie's still, right?
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, it's tough to knock the guy who's won twice in 3 years. And even in the defense, only a handful of guys have defended at Augusta National. That's going to be the asterisk that everyone points to leading up to this, right? He can't defend. It's only been Faudo, Nicholas, and Woods. No way Scheffler can do that. I like that he has that experience under his belt, Shane. I think that's huge. And it's not like he played bad in his defense. I think he was second or first tee to green that week, just had a bad putting week and still finished top 10. So I think it's Scheffler number 1 until like he stabs his other hand leading into Houston or something, if something like that happens.
Where are you right now with Scottie? Because I mean, I know it's been a hot talking point. It's like, he's frustrated. I mean, competitive people get frustrated when it's not going their way. Most pro golfers are going to get pissed off when they're not making putts and every 5-footer seems like it's missing and, nothing's kind of going their way. I mean, I thought the whole week was kind of encapsulated with the putt on his last screen on Sunday that he missed like a 6-7 footer to save par. And he was kind of laughing and chuckling to Teddy. But like, are you okay with Scottie? Are you kind of waiting for something? Are you a little, I don't want to say concerned, but like, where are you at right now with Scottie Scheffler?
I think waiting for something's a good way to put it. Obviously, the full swing's not where we have seen it. It seems like he's got that quick left miss in the bag with the body not rotating fluidly. And I think something that kind of stuck out to me at the Players' Championship is he made a number of strategic mistakes. It seemed like he missed on the wrong side of the hole a lot more often than we've seen Scottie Scheffler do the last 2 years. And we've always said Scottie Scheffler is the best course manager in the game. And so it seems like that has kind of leaked into his full swing. And so I would like to see that tighten up a little bit in Houston. And if it does, like ever so slightly, it's like, all right, Scottie's winning every major.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like finish top 5 in Houston, and we'll all be good. I mean, I
Yeah.
just think we've and again, I mean, these are bad weeks. He's finishing 20th with players, and what did he finish what did he finish in his previous start? I mean, it was like he was top
T11.
10 as well, right? Or T11. It's like he's not missing cuts. It's just for Scottie, he lives in the top 5. When he doesn't, it is interesting. But that's our Masters power ranking.